So I've talked many times about how I think that the White Stripes are one of the greatest bands of all time, one of my personal favorites. For me, they've really inspired me the most, especially Jack White, just as a guitarist, because I do play guitar, and I'll show you a little bit in this video, but nothing, no amp or anything. It is very late at night, but I thought it'd be fun to rank the music videos for the White Stripes because they have some really cool ones, and I just have to preface this by saying I love every single music video there is. They're very different, but I really love them all, and I'm not including the lyric videos. So for, I think, Let's Shake Hands, Apple Blossom, and the Seven Nation Army Glitch Ma remix or whatever, I'm not including those ones just because they're lyric videos. There isn't really much to say about them. They're really cool for the animation, but I'm talking about all 13 other ones. Jolene is sadly not included on that list, although that is one of my favorite things they've ever done. So getting straight into it, coming in at number 13 is You Don't Know What Love Is, You Just Do As You're Told. Now, again, a really great music video, and it of course reminds me of the documentary, The White Stripes Under Great White Northern Lights. For me, as a Canadian, it's a great documentary, and it's just cool seeing in the video there just isn't much that's happening in it, and that's kind of the case with some of the last place ones here. There just isn't much that's happening in them, and I really enjoy it for what I see. I like seeing the locations. I can tell they're up north, and again, because I am Canadian, it is nice to see. It reminds me of the documentary, but it just doesn't have some crazy stuff happening like the other ones. Great song, really good video, really nice scenery. That's easily the best thing about it. And a lot of these videos really show me that Meg did a lot of background vocals that I didn't really notice, including this song. But coming in at number 12 is We Are Gonna Be Friends, one of their biggest songs and probably one of their best. Again, this falls in the same category where there isn't really much happening. It's just Meg and Jack sitting on the on the couch, and Jack's just going. So he's just playing the guitar, and I do like it as a guitarist because then I can actually see how he plays the song. I know it's pretty basic. It's, G, C, there's a D in there and stuff like that. But there's just something about the video that is so sweet to me. I think it's kind of just the expression on Jack's face. I think that it's interesting because I'm thinking what is he thinking in his head? And when he wakes Meg up at the end, it's kind of funny because she's just asleep on the couch for 2 minutes or however long the song is. It's quite a short song, but again, a good music video. There's just nothing really that happens, but it's still sweet to see. Coming at number 11 is Hotel Yorba. Again, another one of their biggest songs, and again, same thing with this one. Not much happens in the video, but it's still really interesting to see. I really like the way it's shot. It's very early 2000s, so I think that for that, it's really cool. And talking about videos holding up and stuff, I really don't think it matters with stuff like this because they are definitely a staple of the 2000s. As I've said many times, they're one of my favorite bands. They're easily my favorite band of the 2000s, so seeing videos like this are really interesting. Now coming into the top 10, we have Icky Thump, one of their biggest songs. Again, I've said that a bunch of times, and one of their best. I'd say it's probably their second or third biggest after obviously Seven Nation Army and probably We're Gonna Be Friends, but it's just such a weird video. It's so weird. I actually hadn't seen the video until today. I did watch all the videos again today for those who are wondering, and it's so weird. It doesn't make any sense, but I love it for that, and it's just so cool to see the little breakdowns. I don't know how much you'll be able to hear it, but just stuff like that. I mean, again, it's one of my favorite songs for them. I feel like that's for everyone, but it's cool to see those little breakdowns and see, again, kind of adding on to what I said about We Were Gonna Be Friends, seeing how he plays it exactly, because this song can be played so many different ways, I see, but I really love this video, and I kind of feel the exact same way about Blue Orchid, which comes in at number 9. Now, this is my favorite riff of all time, and when I do my top 10 White Stripe songs or whatever, how many I include on that list, I have to include this one. I don't want to play it through the amp because I have a setting that sounds exactly like it, but for those who don't know, the riff goes. So obviously I include the because there's no drums for when I am, so I just always add the percussive muting there, but I could talk about this song forever. Again, the music video is so weird, and I don't really know what's happening in it, but I love it for that. I love that it makes me think. Very confusing, as I said, but maybe I'm a little biased because of the song. I know it is lower on the list, but it's so cool. And coming in number 8 is My Doorbell. Now this video is just really fun. You see Jack and Meg, and they're dressed up like they're from I don't know, like the 20s or something, and you have all these kids watching them perform on stage, and you have the kids back behind on the cello, and of course I have to quote this, but see, it's like this, you turn it on the side, cello, now you got a bass guitar. So it's just, I always think of that from School of Rock, and it's just a fun video overall. It's shot all in, I think, black and white. The ending's pretty funny when Meg's dragging the rest of them out and Jack's like running to the car. I just think it's a fun video. It's cool to see all these kids enjoying the song. It's a great song. Get Behind Me, Satan is an album that just gets better and better the more I listen to it. I really appreciate it a lot more than I did when I was hearing it, I guess, for the first time. And next up is another song from one of their later albums, another one of my personal favorites, Conquest. Now, this one has always been one that I've loved. I just think it's an amazing song, and the video is really interesting. Again, it's so cool because of the costume design, but my favorite part of the video kind of just matches up with the song. The one part where it talks about, the hunter became the hunted, that, and then you see Jack and he's trying to like mess with this bull, I guess, and he's dancing all around with it, moving the flight. I'm not dancing exactly, but you know what I mean, moving around with it, and then he's like crawling on the ground, and I'm pretty sure that he starts like mouthing the lyrics, obviously, and you just see it. I love how they show that with the turnaround. It's one of my favorite songs by them, so again, I'm a little biased. I really do think it's an amazing song. The video is really interesting, and next up we have the Denial Twist. Now, this is another one of those songs from Get Behind Me, Satan, again, talking about this album that has just grown on me, and it's just so good. Now, this video is probably the weirdest video on it. It has Conan in it, and of course I love Conan. He's one of, if not the best talk show host out there. He was just amazing, and obviously the White Stripes were very important to him, and they were very important on his show, and his show was very important in their career. You know what I mean? They played their last show on his career list, their last performance, and this is just really cool. It makes absolutely no sense, and I don't really know how they shot it, but it's also pretty cool at the end where they shows all the sets and stuff, but it's just the lenses and everything. I just think it's a really cool video visually, and of course the song is great. And also that one thing with Meg's foot, like going through the TV, when I actually watched it, because it was my first time watching it today, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Coming in at number 5 is a song that I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think can only be found on like the Jack White recording, like acoustic recording album that I have listened to a lot. I really love it, but it's actually City Lights. Now, this is another one that I haven't heard much. I have heard the song a few times. I think it's a very good song. It has a lot of like challenging vocals for Jack, but I think it works well because of course he sounds great. He's an amazing singer. He never gets enough credit for that, but it's a really interesting video because it impresses me, and it's just some person who I'm pretty sure is naked just drawing on shower, and like it's matching up with the song, on the shower that's all fogged up, so you see the lights, and as it's fading they keep drawing over it. And when I was watching it for the first time today, I was like, this is so awesome. This is so cool. I mean, maybe it's because I'm not an artist, maybe that's not a difficult thing to do, but I assume it is. I'm not sure who does it in the video. If you know, definitely let me know in the comments, but this was just another one that was really cool. It's a great song, of course. All the songs in here are amazing. I don't think the White Stripes have a bad song, in my opinion at least, but this one really surprised me. I think out of all of them, this one surprised me the most. Now, number 4 is possibly their most iconic video. The backstory behind this one is pretty interesting, but that is, of course, fell in love with a girl. I just think that this video is so awesome. The whole thing where they asked like Lego to like partner with them, and then they're like no, and then they did the video, and then Lego like asked to partner with them. They're like, no, you didn't want to before. I just think that's kind of funny. That's paraphrasing obviously, but this video is just awesome. And for me, I've made a few stop motion videos. I did one last year in class, and I know how much they suck. I really hate doing them because they're just so difficult for me, but this one just looks so cool, especially near the end when they've actually like created the faces of Jack and Meg. I think it's so interesting, and it's just iconic. Like, this is just one of those from the 2000s. It's an iconic song. It's one of their best songs, top 3, probably top 5 at least, and just the music video is so cool. They have the way that Meg plays drums matched up perfectly, and I'm pretty sure the guitar only has 4 strings on here, but it's obviously not a bass. I just think there's little funny things like that. It's one of those sets that I feel like you could buy for $20 because Lego's really expensive, but would just be so awesome to have. Just as a big fan of the White Stripes, I feel like a lot of people do have this. It's a great video. I bet most of you have seen it, whether you know it or not. And coming into the top 3, we have probably my favorite song from the White Stripes. That song will sound really weird without distortion, but here it is. dead leaves in the dirty ground. Again, I've said, I think a few times, at least online, that this is probably my favorite song by them. It has, again, one of my favorite riffs of all time, which sounds really weird when you play it clean, but this video is just so cool. I think I'd seen like half of it before, and I didn't even realize all the projector stuff. For me, I don't even fully know how they did it. I assume that it was done with projectors and all that, but it's so cool. It is just so cool when you have Jack walking around, but then you see him and Meg like projected on there and all the other people that have like destroyed the house in a way, and he's like, I guess, looking back on it. Again, I'm not even 100% sure what the whole meaning is, but I think that's kind of cool in a way. I think that this is one video that does not get talked about enough. I know that music videos are not nearly as important as they used to be in the I guess 80s, 90s, and even 2000s. There's some pretty iconic ones from the 2000s. This one though is pretty great. Again, might be a little bit biased because it's probably my favorite song by them, but a great video nonetheless. Coming in at number 2, of course you guys all know this song. You know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna play the riff. Again, I don't know how well you can hear it because there's no amp or anything, but you all know the song. It's Seven Nation Army. This is one of my favorite music videos of all time. It is so cool. This is actually, I think, out of all of them, the one that holds up the best, which is surprising because I feel like it's probably the hardest to make, but I can tell they put a lot of time into this one. It actually has 420 million views on YouTube, which is just crazy. It's one of the biggest songs of all time. That riff right there is one of the biggest riffs of all time for a reason. This is one of those songs that most people, I guess, would say would be overplayed, but for me, it's another one like Stairway or Sweet Child of Mine or something like that that I never get sick of. I really love this song. Every single time I hear it, it's the perfect opening to Elephant, which is one of their best albums. Obviously, I think their best one is still White Blood Cells. I did rank all the albums. I'll link that up here and down below if I forget. But the way they just have it, you know, keep coming, it's in like kind of like that diamond, and they just keep coming, and it's working all these different things. You see Jack playing, you see Meg playing, and then both of them will be like mouthing the words. It's really hard to explain. You've all probably seen the video because, again, it is one of the biggest songs of all time. I probably consider it one of the top 10 most famous songs of all time. I don't think that's a stretch or anything. That isn't like the White Stripes fan of me saying anything. It's such a great video. It will impress me every single time. I have seen this one quite a few times, but coming in at number 1 is, again, one of their best songs. You all know what it's gonna be. I think that this video was probably the hardest to make besides the one I just talked about. Of course, that is the hardest button to button. One of my personal favorites. I talked to a few people who like the White Stripes a lot, and one of my good friends, Eva, who I actually talked about it in yesterday's video, this is her favorite song by them, so it's just so cool. See, I mean, this video is crazy how it's edited and shot. I'm not gonna say that, but it would just kill me to make this video because there's cuts like every like few seconds or something, just boom, 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 boom. You know how obviously the rhythm of the song goes, and it's kind of like a real life stop motion, if that makes sense. It's so cool to see the amount of amps and drum kits that are in it. I don't know if some of that was like edited, the one part where Meg has all those drum kits and they're spread across the one street. I don't know if they actually had them all or if that's just video tricks. I mean, I probably should know because I edit videos basically every single day, but this video is one of my favorites of all time. It is my favorite video from the White Stripes, and of course it is one of my favorite songs by them. Soon I will do a list talking about my top whatever favorite songs by the White Stripes, but I want to know, what are your favorite videos from them? What is the best one? What is your ultimate ranking of all of them, I guess? I mean, they're all on YouTube. You can check them out. You can include the lyric videos if you want, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.